And a 1 and 2 and...
Hi, I'm Chase Fowler.
And I'm Rob Solomon.
And we are The Knocking.
And you are listening to Doggie Time on DentonRadio.com.
Can you dig it?
Aroo!
No barking. Or panting. That's gross. Oh, man. You're panting in my little room here. Where's my gun? Give me a gun. I'm going to shoot this guy.
Hideous things come out of the darkness to prowl the tortured earth. Evil hands stretch forth to seize. Evil eyes are watching. Unholy voices whisper and quarrel in the fearful silence. Death stalks. Loathsome, horrible death. Listen.
Oh. What's that, Murray?
I didn't say anything.
Calvin, is that you?
No, it's not me. I'm just sitting here working a crossword puzzle in the dimly lit backstage.
Greg? Do you hear what we hear up here?
What is that?
It's doggy time.
Slices of
Your
ham.
wife makes boiled cabbage?
Yeah.
Man.
But she puts new potatoes and slices of ham in it.
See, that's good. I like that.
Have you ever used old potatoes?
Oh yeah, you can use
Like-
old potatoes.
Old potatoes are good.
Oh man.
Yeah, but they can't be too squishy. You know, it's kind of gross there. And we used to take the potato and stick it in like an empty peanut butter jar, and then with the toothpicks, you know, and then they grow all this Doctor Who stuff out of the bottom of it and everything, and name it Bob, and take it to school and get a B. Pause up, my cats and kittens. You are listening to Doggy Time on DentonRadio.com. I am your host and humble narrator, Bone Doggie, here to remind you the government is like a baby, an alimentary canal with a big appetite at one end and no sense of responsibility at the other. And it is Tuesday, November 6th, my cats and kittens, which means it is Election Day. Yes, it is. It is Election Day. Every 4 years this day rolls around, and we are incumbent to actually get up early in the morning, pack ourselves off to your local church or grade school or middle school, stand in line for a little while, and then you walk up to that weird little booth and with either pencil or touch screen in hand, exercise your right as a free citizen of the United States of America, make your voice heard, and make your choice for how you want to be governed for the next 4 years. Now, a lot of youngins out there don't really understand this, but why is this special, my cats and kittens? They will ask that question, it's just politics and it's just blah, blah, blah. And it's more than that, my cats and kittens. Bone Doggie, your humble narrator, reads the paper every day, and that could be a story into itself because I don't actually pick up a newspaper. Actually, what I do is I access it online just about like everybody else does. But I read papers from all over the world. I read the Jerusalem Post. I read Pravda, several papers that come from, Turkey and the other parts of the Middle East. This country, my cats and kittens, we have the right to vote. It is incumbent on us, and we can do it freely and publicly. There are a lot of places out there in this big old wide world that you cannot do that. And I think a lot of people do not understand that fact. They do not understand the fact that in some places in this world, my cats and kittens, it is bloody dangerous to go out and make your voice heard on who you want to be the leader of your country. I remember the elections they had back, I guess it was about 4 or 5 years ago, maybe even longer. I don't know. Time is an illusion. But I remember the elections that they had in Iran where, you went, you voted, and what they did is they painted your thumb purple. That was a symbol that you actually went in and voted. Now, we all know about Iran, and we know how that country is run by the mullahs and everything like that. But the thing is, those people did get to have their voice heard, and what it was a spark. Especially for a place like that, it was a spark, it was the beginning for them. We in this country have been voting every 4 years since the Declaration of Independence, the founding fathers, and all of that for a good 200 and plus years. And I think that at times we take it for granted, the fact that we can actually do this, And another enigma to me is that politics has been made basically into a spectator sport, mostly by the media. There are people out there that literally make their living commenting on politics, and whether it's the left or the right, or it doesn't matter. The fact is that the face of politics has become a media spectacle, basically, that sometimes I think covers up the underlying idea of what the whole process is about, and what actually walking into a voting booth really means in real life, honest to goodness life terms. You could take all the punditry and throw it out the window. You could throw the Rush Limbaughs out the window, and you could throw the Alan Combs out the window. Everybody on either side, the extremes either side, and even sometimes in the extreme middle. And you could throw all that away and sit back and look at the situation and say, this is a vote. I am voting in a free country to choose who I want to lead this country. And I can't emphasize this enough. This is special. Even in this modern age, the idea that of just being able to do that and being able to exercise your right as a citizen of a country is a special thing. Now, a lot of you people out there, a lot of my cats and kittens out there say, and I've heard them say it, my vote doesn't mean anything. That is wrong. Wrong, 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 wrong. Every vote means something, because if you lose your right to vote, then I lose my right to vote. And if I lose my right to vote, then somebody else loses their right to vote. Pretty soon, none of us have got a right to vote. So what I'm saying here, my cats and kittens, in this little rant here, is that we need to get out and vote, even if we don't like either candidate. No candidate is ever going to be the end-all and be-all. We thought we had one 4 years ago. At least that's the way it was presented by this modern media, is that we had a candidate who was, for lack of a better term, the Messiah. And that turned out to not be true, because nobody, my cats and kittens, is going to be a Messiah. Now, the election in 2008, my cats and kittens, was a very, very special thing, man. It was an awesome thing to see a black president. I'm just going to be honest. I don't get into politics a whole lot, but I'm going to tell you this from my heart. I waited all my life to see a black president, and that was one of two on my bucket list. And the other is, I would love to see a president that wasn't necessarily a lawyer. I've got to be honest with you. I've always wondered what it would be like to have a businessman in the White House running around with all those lawyers and looking at things from a more capitalistic point of view. Now, we've got two guys that are running for president that have two totally different ideologies. And I, for one, think that is brilliant. You're not going to have somebody that you believe 100%, my cats and kittens, but you do have two different camps out there, and you do have two different ideologies as to how this country is to be run, and that's the choice that you have. It doesn't matter whether you are supporting Barack Obama or Mitt Romney. The fact that you could indeed support either Barack Obama or Mitt Romney, that's a special thing. That is a marvelous thing, my cats and kittens. That's an American thing. Before this country come along, this whole process of politics and electoral politics never really existed anywhere. The Greeks tried it, for a little while. The British eventually come around to a parliamentary system of doing things, but they still have a monarchy, which is mostly ceremonial, but there are some trappings in there. But the experiment that was the United States of America 200 years ago started with some incredibly brilliant people that understood that civilizations and societies evolve over time, and what they did was they set up a system of government that could survive all of the social changes and all the civic changes and even all of the lifestyle changes, but it would not necessarily have to change the fundamental ideas of liberty and freedom. That's what we are a part of right now. And that's why it is so important for us to exercise our right as a citizen to go out and pull that lever, as they used to do back when I was a kid, and to go out and make your voice heard. You may not think that your voice is being heard, but the fact that we can still do it is what's special and what is, my cats and kittens, very, very precious. We never can let that go. We can never let that go. We have got to keep that.
Hey everybody, this is Karina Michaela. There are a lot of music venues in Denton, but I wanted to take this time to talk really quick about one I care about very much. Banter, a bistro at 219 West Oak Street, is one of the greatest places to play in Denton. From the open mic to CD releases, all of the artists there come together and support each other. The community at Banter is one unlike any other venue. Everyone is always inviting, complimentary, and true friends of every musician there. If you are an artist looking for a community that will embrace you, Banter is certainly the place you need to be. The address again is 219 West Oak Street, and their website is dentonbanter.com. Come hang out, get a sandwich or some hummus, and take in the local Denton music scene. Thursday night is open mic, and you are going to want to check that out. See you then!
May as well enjoy the sparkly lights. No point in putting up a fight.
And now, friends, another edition of Bam Bam Cares.
A man who says he can't is always right. A man who says he can probably still can't with this economy. Bam Bam Cares.
Tune in next week, friends, for another edition of Bam Bam Cares.
Come in, 005.
004, sir.
004? What happened to 005?
Well, I'm afraid he's 00 dead, sir.
00 dead? Are you 00 sure, 004?
That's a 00 doornail, sir. 00 done in 00 Dubai, I believe.
00 damn. This is a 00 disaster. 005 was supposed to go on a secret 00 mission.
Would that be the 00 mission to seek out and infiltrate the live music scene in 00 Denton, sir?
00 dash at 004, that's supposed to be a 00 secret.
With respect, sir, live music in 00 Denton is no 00 secret, sir. Everyone knows about it.
Are you sure, 004?
Oh, 00 definitely, sir. Sir, if I might make a 00 suggestion, I'd like to do my 00 duty and volunteer for this 00 mission in place of 005.
That's bloody 00 sporting of you, 004. You realize, of course, this is a 00 dangerous detail. Are you up for this sort of thing? This 00 business could get bloody.
00 positive, sir. I'm 00 ready to go.
Very well, 004. You will be 00 dispatched to 00 Denton to seek out live music scene in place of 005.
00 righto, sir.
Oh, and be sure to stop off and see 009. Pick up some of those 00 gadgets you chaps are so fond of. All right, my cats and kittens, it is time to take a 00 gander around 00 Denton and see what's 00 up this weekend. Let's see, we'll start off with Abbey Underground over there at 101 Walnut on Friday, November 9th. And it says here at 8 p.m., which is kind of early, we've got God's Joke. Nobody else is listed. It says that the show details will be announced later. Abbey Underground is a 21 and up. There's no cover over there. Andy's Bar and Grill, 122 North Locust Street in Denton. Let's see, Saturday, November 10th, starting at 9 p.m., we got My Beer Drunk Soul, A White Shadow, and the sweepstakes winners. The cover for that is $8 if you are under 21 and $6 if you're over 21. Dan's Silverleaf, 103 Industrial Street here in Denton. Thursday, November 8th, we got our good buddy Saren. We're going to be over there. The age limit is 18 up, and it says that there's not available on the cover. I don't know if there's going to be a cover there or not. So you'd like Saren. Saren's a good local band. Actually made it out to Telluride this year out in Colorado, so that was kind of neat with our good buddies, Backwater Opera. At Dan's, Friday, November 9th, the Matt the Cat Trio. The Matt the Cat Trio. There you go. That show is going to be 9 p.m. And again, it doesn't say anything about a cover, but there's probably going to be something. And then, of course, Saturday at Dan's, the 10th, we've got Cornell Hurd is going to be up there. That show's going to start at 10 p.m. Or no, I'm sorry, that show's going to start at 7 p.m. So that's going to be at Dan's, and it's going to be $10 to get in the door. So that's what's going on at Dan's. Let's see what's happening at Haley's. Wednesday the 7th, our good buddy Garrett Phelps is going to be over there, along with our other good buddies, Stray Nimbus, also Nova Chaser, and the Devil Bards, or the Devil's Bards. Haley's is 122 Mulberry Street in Denton. The cost to get in that little jewel is going to be $5, and that show is going to start at 10 p.m. Friday on the 9th at Haley's, we got Top Hat Ted, Kid Beer, Coat Rack, One Short, and Electric Vengeance. That sounds like that's going to be quite a show. That's going to be Friday at 9 p.m. The cost, it says here, $6 probably if you're over 21 and $10 if you're under 21. It says all ages. And then Saturday on the 10th at Haley's, which I don't remember if I said it was 122 Mulberry Street, but I probably did. Anyway, Saturday at Haley's, we've got Fab Deuce and Renzo. So that's going to be a pretty good show over there. That show starts at 10, and the cover is 8. And then Sunday, my cats and kittens, at 5 p.m., Hares on the Mountain is going to be over at Haley's. That cost is $5. And that's kind of interesting to me. I haven't checked on this, but Hares on the Mountain has been doing Dan's on Sunday afternoon at 5 p.m. for the longest time, so I'm really curious as to if they've made a venue change on purpose or if this is just kind of a one-time deal. I suppose we will find out soon enough, because it looks like this Sunday at Dan's, starting at 9 p.m., yeah, the music is starting Sunday at 9 p.m., so maybe that's why they made the change. Hares on the Mountain usually plays early in the afternoon, and the show at Dan's on the 11th is going to be RTB2. Good band, those guys, RTB2. Tump and Daniel Markham is going to be up there, and that show's going to cost $7. So that's what we got going on at those places. Rubber Gloves Rehearsal Studios, 411 East Sycamore. Friday the 9th, we got Knife Fight, Moving Castles, and Hugh Noble. That show starts at 10 p.m. The cost is $5 for over 21, $7 for under 21. And then Thursday at Rubber Gloves, we got My Empty Phantom and Ash Ryder, R-E-I-T-E-R, A-S-H-R-E-I-T-E-R, Ash Ryder. That show's going to start at 10, and the cost again is $5 for under 21, $7 for over. And then Friday, well, that goes all the way to the 23rd, so we'll talk about that later. So that's what's going on at those places. And let's see what else is happening here. At Banter on the 9th, 6 p.m., we got classical guitar going on, and that's from 6 to 7:30. And then at 8 p.m. at Banter, which is 129 West Oak, 129 West Oak Street. Friday is 8 p.m. We got Maria Cecilia Roca is going to be up there. And then at 9 p.m., Elise Petrovsky. And that's from 9 to 10 p.m. That sounds like quite the international group of people over there at Banter on Friday night. Saturday night, the 10th, Jake Dester Jazz Band's going to be up there from 6 to 7:45. And then Paul Metzger and Ann McMillan are going to be playing from 8 to 8:45. So there may end up being somebody after them over there at Banter on Saturday night. We'll have to just wait and see. And now, my cats and kittens, let's see, at Two Charlie's Bar and Grill, Saturday, November 10th, and that is 809 Sunset Street in Denton. It is going to be Chucktoberfest. Last Chance Oktoberfest. Now, October was over, a week ago, so good old Two Charlies is having a Chucktoberfest. That's the Last Chance Oktoberfest. Says here we'd like to party, so we are having another one. Last Chance Oktoberfest at Chuck's. The music in the afternoon is going to start at 3 p.m. and it's going to be our good buddies, the Contingency Clause, Matt Grigsby and the Merry Monsters, Bone Doggie and the Hickory Street Hellraisers, and our good buddies Jambunctious. So that's going to be a rockin' afternoon out there up on the patio. They're going to have German food and German beer and great specials all day long. Says here that you see free German brisket, sausage, potatoes, and sauerkraut. $3 U-Calls, $2.50 domestic bottles, and $2 select shots, and $5 burger baskets all day long. Doesn't say anything about a cover, my cats and kittens. So come on out to Two Charlies. That's over there, 809 Sunset Street in Denton, Saturday afternoon. And check out Chucktoberfest. That's going to be a lot of fun. But it's so weird. Two Charlies is not known as a music venue, and yet this will be the third time in probably about 4 or 5 months that Bone Doggie and the Hickory Street Hellraisers have got to play over there on the deck. So Two Charlies is doing their best to support some Denton music, and supporting Denton music with good food and cheap drinks is, man, you can't do much better than that. I'm thinking. I just, that's a personal note there from Bone Doggie. So that's pretty much what we got going on in Denton this weekend. We hope to see you out supporting local businesses and supporting some of the live music that will be happening in town this week.
Hey, this is Ashley Gatta from Ashley Gatta and the Free People.
This is Bone Doggie from Bone Doggie and the Hickory Street Hellraisers.
This is Jake Laughlin, president of DentonRadio.com.
The DentonRadio.com Performance and Public Speaking Seminar audio version is now available for purchase, so make sure you pick up your copy today.
And my cats and kittens, be sure to stay tuned to DentonRadio.com to hear about more live events happening around town.
For an email update the next time we are live near you, just email the word seminar to contact@dentonradio.com.
And to submit a question for consideration to be answered at the next event, simply email that question to contact@dentonradio.com.
The DentonRadio.com Performance and Public Speaking Seminar.
We hope we can help you take your music to an entirely new level.
Can you dig it?
We can dig it.
Actually doesn't dig it. You know, I knew you weren't going to dig it when you walked in here. You just had that "I'm not going to dig it" on my face.
Sorry.
Well, okay.
Okay, we need to redo the
We're going to have to kill you
thing
now.
that we all say at the same time.
Okay, yeah. Can you dig it? I can dig it.
I can dig it.
Okay.
I can dig it.
Okay. Finally, you can dig it.
Sorry, I followed the script. It wasn't on the script.
I'm going to hold you to digging it.
Yes.
Oh, I'm so I can't put that on the air. That's pretty funny.
Well, beep.
All right. I have a beep track too, and I've had to use it a couple times.
It.
Oh my God, I had Greg Beach and Austin Struckmeyer in here. You know Austin?
Is he the
Tall, skinny, good-looking guy.
Yeah, the other comedian. Yeah.
Well, no, that's Schmelz. That's Alexander Schmelzer. Austin is a actor, singer, and all of this, and I was so worried about Greg Thumper. You know, that's Thumper. You guys know who he is. All right, and so I bring those two ragtag miscreants in there, and we sit down. And Struckmeyer is snockered, and I had to edit him. It was the editing job from hell. I just bleep because it was funny, but I wanted to keep it in. So,
you want to go with it, but
yeah. Well, not. That was the last time.
FCC.
So anyway, so All right, my cats and kittens, if you have not figured this out yet, I'm sitting in the studio with the lovely and talented Danielle St. John, and we've actually been jawing for about 10 minutes now. And I decided it's probably time to introduce you to the
Perhaps.
audience.
I mean,
Perhaps.
whatever.
So, without further ado, here is... Oh, I am so going to have to chop this all up. It's amazing.
It's okay.
That's no problem. Not a problem. So, we'll do the opening bump. We know. Okay. Here we go. All right, my cats and kittens, it is time now to bring in our special guest. And she is a special guest. We have the very lovely and talented Danielle St. John. See that I put in the applause track right there.
Oh, there you go. Nice.
And you say thank you.
Thank you.
Hi, how are you?
I'm fantastic.
That's
how are
awesome. Pretty good. So we're now at the front of the interview because we started at the back of the interview.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that was pretty cool.
Linear thinking.
Oh. Well, we were talking about this a while ago. You know, we had the dominant part of the interview, and now we've gone to the tonic part of the interview, yes, and now we've got to resolve back into it, but we haven't got to the good stuff yet. So it's kind of fitting,
go back to the
I guess.
4 chord or the 2 chords.
They're really down to tags. You sing opera.
It's true.
It is true. It is true. I heard this rumor, and now you're verifying it.
I am.
Holy
cow!
For
all to hear.
And we didn't even read it on Facebook, my cat. Yes. When did you start singing? How young were you?
Back in the day, I grew up in a very musical family.
Oh, really?
But I grew up. It's kind of weird. I grew up.
Ooh, we like weird here on the Doggy Time Show.
I'm all about the weird.
I read that on Facebook.
Oh yeah, that's cool.
We know about that one.
I wouldn't put it out there, but if I cared about people,
somebody else did.
But yeah, it's cool. But my parents, well, both of them were involved in music and things in high school. And,
they teach or
no,
performers?
they performed in high school. My
cool.
dad was a government employee. My mom was more stay-at-home kind of work, jobs kind of mom. It was cool. But I grew up in the Church of Christ.
Right.
And for those of you who don't know, they don't use instruments at all. It's all a cappella music.
That is amazing to me. And I remember we had this discussion because you know I dated a girl and I went to a Church of Christ for about 6 months, which by the way, the relationship actually went longer than that. Thank you very much. But I like going to different churches and checking out. And I went to Church of Christ, and the vocal harmonies were wonderful. Not a stitch of musical instrument in the place.
Nope.
And I didn't know why.
Not a piano, not an organ, not a guitar, not a triangle.
That's just what they do.
Some of them would have a pitch pipe because they cared about keeping in key, but that was an exception, not the rule.
Right. So you started singing in the Church of Christ,
and just kind of music was around.
Right.
All 3 of my uncles on my mom's side, all of them play guitar.
Right.
So a lot of times when we get together with that side of the family, it will break out into music at some point.
That's brilliant. That's brilliant.
Yeah.
The hillbilly side of Bone Doggie's family are the Pickers.
Yeah.
Which is really odd. The Irish side of the family, my dad, his dad, were both musicians. You know, Dad played in high school. He played an upright bass. Apparently my grandfather played a clarinet. Back in the day, I mean, like the 30s, 20s and 30s, and when he wasn't driving for the mob trucks, he was a union truck driver during Prohibition.
Right.
And during the time at night, he would play jazz in the jazz clubs.
Oh, cool.
Yeah.
Very cool.
So both sides of the family, and you just said both sides of your family going way back.
I had musical inclinations.
Right.
And, we moved around a lot, and I got involved in band and instrumental stuff. They have the Orff instruments. I don't know if you know what those are.
No.
They're kind of like xylophones for elementary school students.
Are they? Right.
They're kind of like just little percussive instruments with pitch, and they're not full size. They're kind of they shrink in the dryer.
You're not
or
talking
something.
about the marimbas, the wooden.
They are made of wood, but they're much smaller. They're on a much smaller scale.
I think I know
And-
exactly what you're talking about. Those are cool.
Yeah, they're pretty cool.
Yeah.
And we had a little ensemble at the school where I was at the time, where we just played stuff. And I started there and stayed in percussion and things through middle school, and finally got into. I was like, I'm tired of just beating around on stuff. I want to learn another kind of instrument. And I had a friend that played the bass clarinet.
Right.
So she taught me that, and I played that for a few years in high school, and then I stayed in vocal music pretty consistently throughout
Right.
that. But then my junior year, I ended up getting into choir and having time in my schedule for choir, and
Yay.
kind of made that more of a priority because I had more experience.
Were
with
you
that,
starting
so.
at that time to really figure out that's what you wanted to do?
Yeah, actually, at the time I had planned to go
Excuse me a
into.
minute, the dog is at the door.
It's cool.
Come on in here. Get in here. Poot has been
A dog
here.
for doggy time.
Poot has been in here every show. He's going to knock the table around now.
Okay, well, good that there's nothing left in my glass.
Well, the table makes noise. Okay, sit
I know.
down. Sit down. Quit hollering. Good boy. We were talking and you totally interrupted.
Rude.
Okay, good boy. Lay down. Lay down. So in high school, you really started.
But
to
yeah,
decide.
and I had actually intended at that point to go into music education. I was like, I'm going to be a choir director. It's going to be fantastic.
Right.
And then I went into the military. And
Did you?
Yeah,
What branch?
Army. I was in the Army for 4
Army
years.
specialist, were we?
An administration specialist, yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
Very cool.
And did that and kind of saw a little bit of the world, grew up a lot, and just kind of.
What kind of bits of the world?
Well, Korea.
Oh,
I was in
right.
Korea for a year. That was my first duty assignment.
Right.
And then I moved to Hot Atlanta after
Hot
that.
Kind of a
Which,
cultural shock there, I bet.
Oh man. Well, the real cultural shock was going to Korea because it was the first time I'd moved around a lot with my family because my
Right.
dad worked for the Air Force as a civilian.
Right.
So I'd spent 3 years in England, and I was born in Texas but grew up in California is where I went to high school, was in Michigan for a couple of years, all over the place.
Right.
So I was used to moving around, but that was the first time that I had been somewhere without my family,
Ooh.
without my parents.
Right.
And I mean, I was adjusting to the military culture,
Yep.
and then I was a half a world away from everything I ever knew.
Nobody spoke English, and
Well,
well,
actually, a lot of people spoke
I
English,
imagine
but-
a lot of people do in South Korea. They speak a lot of English.
It was a formative experience.
Yeah, I can see that. I mean, it sounds kind of interesting. I mean, you move halfway around the world. You don't have your folks there. You don't know a whole
None
lot
of that
people.
support structure
But you
was
did
there.
have a gun. Yeah.
Yeah, about that. No, I'm kidding. We don't talk about that.
Okay. Oh, so those rumors are true too. All right, this is awesome.
I
love this.
confess nothing.
Good girl, good girl. And so you ended up going to college and getting.
But I find it during that formative time of my life, I was
Yeah.
like, you know what? I had intended to go into education as the safe route.
Right.
Because it was like, I can get a job as a teacher. I know that I can get that degree and get into school and do all that stuff.
Right.
I know that I can do that. If I don't at least try to have a career as a performer,
Mm-hmm.
I'm always going to wonder.
Oh, so you're a performer.
Oh, yes.
A natural performer.
Yes, I am.
I would have never guessed.
Really? I was trying to play it so close to the vest.
I am so shocked. It's just No,
That's
but
what I get for trying to be subtle.
I think the first time I met you, I thought, oh, this one here, no, yeah, she's a performer. Yeah. Moi. So yeah.
Yeah, but if I didn't at least try to make a career out of that and
Right.
give it the old college try,
Yeah.
then I would always wonder, and I couldn't live with myself.
Right.
I could not live with myself just wondering.
Well,
so-
it's and I've heard a lot of different people describe it.
Mhm.
It's not a bug, they say the
Mm-hmm.
acting bug
It's
or
an itch.
whatever, or the itch or anything like that.
Yeah.
For me, it's a part of my makeup.
It's in your blood.
It's in your
Really.
blood in one way or
Absolutely.
another, and you enjoy it, you love it, get out there and do it, and doesn't always work.
Yeah,
But
it's not always ideal.
Yeah.
Well, I remember being in basic training for 9 weeks, having no performance outlet. I went from my senior year in high school, where I was in 2 choirs.
Right.
I was taking drama. I was in a musical. I had the church stuff that I was involved in. I had probably a good average.
Yep.
of 5 to 10 hours of music and performance in my life
Right.
the last semester of my senior year. And then I go into basic training where there's nothing. It was a wasteland.
Screaming sergeants.
The only performance outlet I had was calling cadence while we were running down the road. That was it.
You
And-
guys, they actually do that.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yep, they sure do.
I'm not going to use the words because
Yeah.
they're filthy. I can't
Well,
stand
they
here.
have changed that a little bit,
Oh,
where
yeah.
it's not quite so crass anymore.
Well, when you were doing
depending on where you
basic,
go.
were you in
But-
mixed? Was it, you know, men
It was
and
co-ed,
women?
yeah.
Oh, okay.
The barracks room where we were
Right.
was all women, and being
Right.
in one room with 60 women, shoot me in the face right now.
Shoot me in the face.
Oh my
honey.
God.
That's not
No.
even. That's not even a pipe dream.
Oh
Yeah.
no, 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 never, ever again.
Oh,
Oh,
God.
and I remember when I was talking about coming to college,
Right.
and they were like, all first year students have to live in the dorms. I was like, not hardly, bro.
Been there,
not
done
gonna
that.
happen.
Not a big
Uh-uh.
deal. Not a big deal.
Not even gonna happen. Well,
Yeah.
I was like, no way. I'm not doing that. Not I'm
You
not
just didn't
gonna.
wanna
I'm
do
not
it.
gonna. I was 26 years old at the time. I'm like, I am not gonna be in a room with some little 18-year-old knucklehead that don't know the butt from a hole in the ground.
Right.
I'm no offense, but I mean seriously.
Well, for all you people out there whose butts are holes in the ground, we do not mean to. We are very sorry if we've offended.
Sorry about that.
Yeah, there you go.
But I mean, but seriously,
True,
I just
though.
and these kids that are out on their own for the first time and just going, and I was old enough to already know what I wanted,
Right.
and was on track to get where I wanted to go. I did not have time for that foolishness.
Good for you.
So,
Good for
but
you.
thankfully they were like, no, honey, you're fine.
Yeah, I would think so. I would think so.
Oh, I don't want to have to kill somebody.
So through all this muddling around, and you've done a lot of muddling around,
Yeah.
you have landed yourself in Opera on Tap.
Yes.
Explain to our listening audience, my cats and kittens out there, what is Opera on Tap? This is the coolest idea
The whole
ever.
idea of Opera on Tap is to kind of break through the stereotype that you have to go to an opera house, or that opera or classical music is just for rich white people,
Right,
or whatever upper
In big
crusties,
halls or
whatever you want to
yeah.
call them.
right.
It's not just for that. It is music for common people, for
Right.
everybody, not
Right.
just common people. Even, I mean, upper crusty people can still listen to it. That's cool, but it's not just for them. It's
Crusty
for
people?
everybody. Yes,
Oh, crusty people.
both
Okay.
both crusty people and upper crusty people.
Well, I find it's really
all
interesting.
encompassing.
You know, a bone doggy crowd, which you've seen, is pretty much either crusty or common. Either one. So it
Oh yeah,
works
I
out really
mean,
good, yeah.
you know,
So
whatever.
it would work. It would
Yeah.
work. So Opera on Tap performs.
Brings it into bars.
Exactly.
Brings it into bars.
Isn't that is
they have a little
hysterical.
keyboard, electrical keyboard, or piano if the place has one. They
Right.
a lot of it ends up in kind of dive bars and just kind of local pub kind of settings, and it's
Well,
not for
the-
profit. Everybody just comes in. People sing songs that they love, sing songs that are completely wrong for their voice because they can.
Awesome.
Because I mean, it's like me. I am a light soprano voice. For
Right.
those in the know, a lyric coloratura.
It's a light soprano's not a
I would
skinny
not.
mobster.
I would not. No.
No.
I would not.
Sorry,
No,
I
no
wasn't
skinny
going
mobster.
to no skinny
But-
mobsters here. All right, light soprano is a musical term, my cats and kittens.
Yes,
So-
but I would never, ever get cast in any Verdi opera or Wagner opera because the orchestration is too thick for
Right.
my voice to carry over it
Well,
without
that's probably
a
a
microphone.
blessing as far as the Wagner opera. So,
Yeah,
you know,
but I love Verdi.
Verdi.
Like La
Me too.
Traviata, I would love to play Violetta. I would love
Except
it.
La Traviata.
I would love to play Lucia de Lammermoor,
Mm.
another great, more dramatic role. But
Right.
there's no way I'm ever going to be able to play that
Because
or-
the
because
quality
I
of
just
voice.
don't have enough. Don't have a big enough instrument for that.
Right. Have you ever done the lead part in an opera?
Yeah.
How'd you like that experience?
It's intriguing. Well, it's been kind of weird. Because I went to TWU
Right.
for the last part of my degree, and the opera program, the voice performance program there is still very, very nascent, kind of, where it's very small,
Mhm.
and they're trying to build it.
Right.
But the focus has been on so many other things, and with UNT right down the road, it's been very challenging to try to build it and make it
Right.
what it should be. They're in the process of doing that right now. It's a very exciting time.
Yes.
But while I was there, we did Magic Flute, and I
Yay.
got to play Queen of the Night.
Oh, cool.
Which is one of these huge soprano roles.
It is.
That
It
I
is.
probably shouldn't have been playing. Because there's those high Fs in it.
Yeah.
Just, I mean, up in the stratosphere, Fs.
Right.
And I have an E most of the time.
Right.
The F is a little
Solid
questionable.
E, yeah.
Pretty solid E.
That
Pretty solid
extra
E.
half step there,
That extra
that'll
half
get
step
you.
is a bear.
That's kind of how I live my life, so I totally identify with that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
There's just
I
certain
probably should have been
registers.
playing the role, and I mean, I worked with my voice teacher, and we kind of got to where there was a certain kind of regularity to it.
Right.
But then the night of, there were other stressors in place, to put it diplomatically.
Oh, really?
And I'd been so stressed out about
Right.
all these other things that didn't have to do with the part,
Mhm.
and I couldn't come down from that.
Really?
So I didn't have it. I got close.
Yeah.
I probably got the E. I did not get that.
Maybe an E diminished. E suspended, maybe. But not quite the F.
Not quite.
Oh,
So I was like, ugh. Crap. And then after that, because of the way that things have been, because it's still a growing program.
Yes.
We only had 2 performances of it
Right.
in the middle of the week.
Is that program? It's still popping around and.
Yeah, it's still growing. They have an opera scenes thing. I wish I knew the date of it, but I don't.
Can you
That's
find it
gonna come
online?
out. Yeah,
What,
you should be able to on the TWU Music website. They have their own website. And
Yeah,
all
that's
kinds
very
of stuff.
refreshing, as a matter of fact, because almost everybody we talk to here, of course, are NT
Mhm.
grads, but and NT alums and all
And
of
a
that.
lot of the people with Opera on Tap are through there as well.
Are through NT.
UNT, yeah.
But Texas Whitman's got a wonderful music department.
And it is growing so much.
That's awesome.
Especially in music ed and music theory.
Right.
They're just blossoming.
Very cool.
So
Very cool.
So yeah.
I love that, and one of the things when I was reading the website about Opera on Tap and all of that, and of course again the whole mission statement and
Mm-hmm.
everything of we take opera, we bring it to you, and I was looking at the pictures, and I guess they were at Abbey Underground,
Mhm.
and you guys are going to be there very soon. When this next performance?
The next
coming up?
performance is the 23rd of November. It is Black Friday.
Black Friday. I
Mhm.
love the name. I love
Yeah.
the name. I read that today. So what is Black Friday about?
I don't remember what the show specifically. I'm not going to be there myself because I'm going to
Oh,
be
I'm
out
not
of
gonna
town
watch
visiting.
it then.
I mean, whatever. But
Lame. What are
no,
you
go
gonna
see
be?
it. Go see it. But
All right,
I
fine.
got family out of town, and I don't want to go visit them for Thanksgiving, which makes me
okay.
a little sad.
You
that
know,
I missed
that's
the show, but
performing anywhere near around Thanksgiving or Christmas is just like
Any of the
bird
holidays.
anyway.
Yeah.
They should have done this between or something
Yeah.
like that. But
well, I
but
think
I'm
the idea
probably
was
gonna
to
get up
do
and
it
see
on Black Friday, to have a Black Friday show, and I
The
think it's
actual
our
Black
favorite
Friday.
things is the theme of the show.
So it's really tied up to the day after Thanksgiving,
Mhm.
the Black Friday,
Yes,
where everybody
exactly.
goes shopping.
Yeah, and hence the name of the show being Our Favorite Things.
Okay, and I'm thinking Black Friday, death and destruction, murder and mayhem.
No,
I'm
no.
ready for this.
Yeah.
Let's do it. No, I'm going to
No,
get
it's more-
shopping, aren't I? That's where I'm going to go.
Well, just people singing their favorite songs or singing about
Right.
getting what they want or whatever.
Right. You have solo performances, obviously,
Mhm.
and then you also have
We also have ensemble things.
ensemble
They're
things as
usually around. Well, I won't say usually. It varies. Some of them
Right.
are just choral ensembles, like the Anvil Chorus.
Right.
And then there was another one from I think Nabucco, which is the chorus of the Hebrew slaves, which we did
Right.
once, which is just gorgeous.
Wow,
That are all chorus pieces, but we also do a lot of things where they're around a solo song.
Right.
Like on Friday night, we had one of the singers do. Oh, she did an amazing job of the doll aria from the Tales of Hoffmann,
Mhm.
and there's a chorus line that kind of accompanies along with that,
Cool.
and we sang that too. So just all kinds of stuff.
How long have you been tied up with Opera on Tap? yourself.
About a little over a year. He started getting the North Texas chapter going, and
Right.
I was kind of on board with it when he got it started.
Were you recruited?
So yeah, I was kind of drafted. No.
That's odd. Look at you.
Yeah,
Ain't
well,
you fancy?
Yeah, no.
They just dug you right up, didn't
Yeah.
they?
Well, the Dr. Snyder, Dr. Jeffrey Snyder,
Right.
who is the creative director for the North Texas chapter, I took voice with him when I was at UNT.
Very cool.
And so I knew him through that, and he knew the voice teacher that I took lessons with at Texas Woman's.
Right.
and the two of them had talked about things, and
Very nice.
she was like, "Oh, he's starting this thing, and you would be perfect for it. They're singing in bars." I'm like, "What does that say about me?" But
well, I don't know. It's what I do. So as a
Yeah.
in this room right now, that says a lot about you.
Well, there
buddy.
we go.
Well done.
Okay.
There you go.
Alrighty.
Put you on
But-
a pedestal. Put you right up there.
Oh, stop it.
Oh,
And
man.
by stop it, I mean do please continue. But no, I'm not a soprano. Anyway, but
Me either.
But the two of them had talked about it, and she was
Right.
like, "Oh, you should get in touch with him. He's got this thing that's gonna be going on, and they're doing stuff." And I was like, "Okay." So I got in touch with him, and he
Very
was like,
cool.
"Yes, please come do things." Okay.
So are you going to hang out with these guys for a while and
As long as
perform
I'm
with
here,
them?
as long as I'm here. I have a few things on the horizon that aren't quite hammered out.
Right.
I don't know how long I'll be in the North Texas area, but as long as I am,
Well,
I do plan to continue.
That's kind of neat. I know that the lead singer for Jambunctious, Dewey
Yeah, Dewey
Rakowski, has been trying to land an operatic gig
Yeah.
for a while.
Yeah.
And so we're, but in the meantime, he's still doing the Jambunctious thing
Mhm.
and
That's cool.
and doing the jam thing. And those guys are fun anyway. We like those. But that is so very cool. I'm so glad you come out to talk about this.
Oh, yeah.
Just
I'm glad to be here.
to get it performed, and I can't wait to see the performance. I will go out and see it.
It's a
and
lot of fun. There's all
check it
kinds of
out.
stuff.
Yeah, and do you have any idea when the performance after? Is it going to be like after the holidays? You guys crank up in the spring?
I
or-
think we're actually planning on doing some caroling stuff.
Yeah, okay.
But I don't know. But there's all kinds of stuff that we have a Facebook page.
Right. And that Facebook
Opera on-
page is
it's
Opera on Tap.
North Texas.
Right.
North Texas Opera on Tap to be specific. And there's also the website operaontap.org
.org.
slash New North Texas. Not
North Texas.
New Texas.
That's the thing, is this Opera on Tap thing is nationwide.
Yep.
There's like 13 chapters or something like that.
Something
11?
like that. It started in
I
New
was
York.
counting them. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, that doesn't surprise me.
Yeah. Well, I mean, we've got a lot of.
New York Opera, let's go to the bar. Okay.
Yes.
Yes.
Sounds like a plan.
Yeah. But I was looking on the website. It was just like San Francisco chapters, and
Mhm.
there's a Michigan chapter, for God's
Mhm.
sake, way
Yeah.
up there in Michigan.
Oh yeah.
And so
Gotta do
it's
something
kinda
on those
cool.
cold nights.
So when I heard about this whole thing, I was really excited about it. I wanted to get you in here and talk about it. Thank you so much for doing this.
No, thank you for having me.
And we would like to remind you, my cats and kittens, that we will be here again next week with the dog. And we're not going to have Danielle with us, though. But we may do this again, maybe shortly. Maybe an update.
Yeah,
After
absolutely.
the holidays, you can come and tell us all the horror stories. Because I'll bet you've got some. I'll bet you've got some. I can only imagine. But thank you so much for coming in.
No, thank you for having me.
And we are going to say adieu.
Adieu.
So long, farewell, auf Wiedersehen, goodbye. And we'd like to remind you, my cats and kittens, once again, that we will be here this time next week. So until then, yeah, that's pretty much it. I guess. No, we have to do an extra. What was the extra? This is Doggy Time, and you were listening to Denton Ray. Blah. I forgot my own damn show. Can you believe this? I forgot my own damn show. It's been a while. Honey, this is the second show I've done in 2 months. and I just totally forgot about it. So you are listening to Doggy Time, my cats and kittens, on DentonRadio.com. Can you dig it?
I can dig it.
I knew that you could. Perfect. This old town's the same as the one before. Hotels and solitaire, empty bars and wooden floors. There's rain on the pavement, got doors slammed in my face. Promise of miracles, the reality of mistakes. Razor sharp and silken blue. Can't seem to drink away this melancholy mood. My only friend's an empty glass, pack of stale cigarettes, bottle of memory, suitcase of regret. Got 1,000 miles of highway on these worn out shoes. Bus station breakfast, train station blues. I'm selling my soul one door at a time. Got me pennies in heaven while hell's full of dimes. Razor sharp and silken blue. Can't seem to drink away this melancholy mood. My only friend's an empty glass, pack of stale cigarettes, bottle of memory, suitcase of regret. Ha! Razor sharp and silken blue. Can't seem to drink away this melancholy mood. My only friend's an empty glass, pack of stale cigarettes, bottle of memory, suitcase of regret.